welcome once again to therapy sessions, Zoom calls with the writers and producers. So Chantry and Kyle are here. Kyle Neal, not McNeil, and Chantry Johnson. They're both based. Where are you joining from today? Like LA. Are both of you in LA?
I'm in LA, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in LA. I'm currently in Granada Hills area, yeah.
Gotcha. And I'm in Nashville. So, but when we got together, so I flew out to LA to write with you guys as we did this, the song, and I'm going to go back to Spotify here. Oops. I am learning this. Kyle has been my guide in learning the ways of Zoom, screen, and audio sharing. Where was it though? And I'll just play a little bit of the song that a lot of y'all probably have heard by now that the album's out. There's a song.
Jump the gun, tend to run off at the mouth. I see that it's in your eyes. Read the signs, breathing in deep. You're waiting to let me know. Find the beauty in the letting go. Hurry up and learn to take it slow. I'm trying to be patient.
And y'all, it seems like people have really been enjoying this song. So I'm gonna go back to this to see you guys. So let's talk about how this came about. So we originally, the first time we all got together, we didn't write this song. We wrote another one called I'm Not Alone that, while it didn't go on this album, I still think is a really cool song. But that led to this song, Patient, which I feel like is one of the stronger songs on my album, according to at least what my team and a lot of my fans have been saying. So I'm glad that we got back together to write this one. I don't know if y'all remember anything of what was going on in the conversation behind the song. Like, does anyone remember how this song began? Like, I mean, I know that I get impatient a lot of times, which I probably was just talking about that. But like, Chantry, do you remember what started the track? Like,
I think that we
go.
generally, well, for people who don't know, who don't necessarily do writing sessions, a lot of times you just get paired with people you never met before. So our first session was completely like Chantry, meet David, meet Kyle. And sometimes in just getting to know each other better or in talking about your personal life or whatever, something, becomes inspiring or whatever. It's kind of a crazy thing, the whole like blind date of songwriting kind of thing, but you get to, learn each other, learn about each other in a quick amount of time. So I'm sure David was talking about something about, we talked a lot about, patience, about things like flipping the switch, like what we did with the other song, bottling up your emotions on the inside, or like reminding yourself to breathe or whatever. Those were common themes in some of those sessions. But I think this one specifically might have been a relationship thing. I don't remember. I won't say too much about it. But it had to do with being patient. And I always, I think even before the session, I had thought a lot about the profound nature of being patient with someone who's learning to be patient. So I think we kind of started there. Dave was talking about that, and we kind of thought we'd try that direction. And we had so much to say about it. I feel like now that I'm remembering, we had it was much wordier at first, I feel like, with the ideas we were going with.
Right.
And so then we eventually kind of came up with that part that really breathes the I'm trying to be patient. And it kind of opened up this door because in slowing it down, it kind of reflects, okay, this is me in my Zen mode trying to be patient. And there's even chirping birds in the background if you listen to the production. And so we pushed it even further too by, production wise, I was trying to do things where we were pushing the downbeats so that we weren't being patient when we came in with the song. So like even right off the gate, it's got that bah, 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 jump the gun. So playing around sonically with how we could reflect that, and melodically how we could reflect that kind of push-pull of having a lot of thoughts but trying to be patient and those kind of things. So that, from what I remember, that was kind of the process.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a lot.
No, I want to go back to those to hear that intro now as you say that, because it was designed to feel impatient, which I love.
Jump the gun, tend to run off at the mouth. I see that it's in your eyes. Read the signs.
Let's go to where the birds are.
Find the beauty in the
subtle in there, but I do
hurry
love
up and
the
learn to
birds in
take
there.
it slow.
Right
I'm
here.
trying to be patient. I tell myself, remember,
There they are.
remember to breathe. I'm trying to be patient.
And then when it goes into the end of the chorus,
So won't you
it's like
please
that
be
patience comes back
patient,
in.
be patient with me, 'cause it don't come easily. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
So-
don't come easily.
Here I am. I'm probably like blasting your ears because, all right. So there are there's the birds chirping and the beat skipping and jumping impatiently, which I love. That was the brilliance of Chantry Johnson.
Thanks.
And then Kyle really took a lot of the lead, especially with the lyrics. That's where you were kind of in the corner. I feel like, so a lot of times I feel like, Kyle, you get in the zone there. Like you're just there, like on your laptop and just like quietly to yourself, building the lines and story just in your little space. Like we're talking. So a lot of the lines of the songs come from us just talking about being impatient and maybe how, like, as I start freaking out, like I get very impatient because I'm like, I just start doing it. And so as we were talking about my impatience or our impatience, how we each experience it, then Kyle, you're kind of in there. You get in the zone and start writing those lyrics and stuff. Like, are there any lyrics that you could give a little background of like what, or like, and just anybody, Chantry too, because you're also great with lyrics. Like, are there any of the lines that, was there a moment where just like, oh, like, yeah, like I'm like, when did we come up with, I'm trying to be patient, so please be patient with me? When did that come? Does anyone remember that moment? A lot of times we don't remember, do we?
No.
What line came from who? It's kind of just like we're all just like brainstorming, and then it's there, and we're like, is that what we want? Is that good enough? And then like we take a little break and then come back like, oh, that's pretty good.
Right.
I do remember kind of like you were talking about, you know, just like having kind of that initial, like the first like hour of any co-writes, like a lot of getting caught up or getting to know each other, and just kind of like it's a really weird feeling because you go from strangers to seemingly like good friends really fast, because you kind of have to have that emotional vulnerability to write something together.
Yeah.
So I just remember that first like hour or so of our co-write was a lot of just kind of like, again, like really like kind of opening up to each other really fast, and trying really hard to like just kind of like catch all the vibes that were coming off of everybody. I think I remember writing that first verse initially, or like kind of like doing the thing like you said, where it's kind of like I was listening to you guys talk a lot and like chiming in kind of here and there, and then I came in with this verse that I think was even wordier than it is now originally, and then kind of using that as a jumping off point. And I think that after we kind of found the verse groove that we liked, we started talking about the theme, and we were just like, yeah, I think this is going to be about just being patient. How do we say that? And then at some point we were just like, why don't we just say it? Like, why don't we just say we're trying to be patient and ask the other person to be patient with us in that process?
Right.
Yeah, Kyle, I feel like in this one in particular, because we've done a couple sessions now, but I feel like this one in particular must have been speaking to you, or you must have just been on one, because I feel like you were just like ideas, ooh, 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 ooh. And if I remember correctly, it was like David talking and you just writing furiously, like yes, and that. Okay, I have a verse idea. So it came together quite nicely.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's my, you know, with any thing that anyone does, like, you know, there's, you know, we always talk about being in the zone, and I remember that day really felt, whatever was happening in that room that day just felt great, because yeah, ideas just kind of flew through, and it just felt like there was a lot of like yes anding involved. Like it didn't feel like there was a lot of roadblocks. So that felt like a good day for everyone.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, it was fun. Let's go look at the second verse here of the song. Good, I'm learning how to swap back and forth from share screen to not.
Whoa, whoa. Know that I tend to fly through all these steps. That's why I give too much and not enough. My mind is racing and I can't keep up. So
Let's talk about that a little bit. So as you hinted, Chantry, that the song, it's about patience, but it was kind of based. It began, as we were talking about, just the struggle of relationships and being patient in relationships. Like, so that's where this kind of starts shimmering a little bit more in the second verse. Like, know that I tend to fly through all these steps. That's why, I mean, it can be related to other parts of life, but it was kind of stemming from this conversation about relationship where it's like, I give too much, then not enough, because it's like, I don't want to have to wait to like take all the steps it takes to build and grow a relationship. I just want to like hurry up so that we can get moving, see if this is the right thing, if this works, which really ends up just becoming exhausting, feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. So that's where these lyrics of know that I tend to fly through all the steps, give too much, and then not enough because I've burnt myself out. I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
So, you know, I remember, if I remember correctly, David, we wrote this one and Switch in like a 2-day period, right? We were in with Kyle one day, and then you and I were in with Tony, I think, a day or two after. And thematically, it's kind of a similar thing, because Switch is about like, okay, we're going 100% into this thing, and then all of a sudden something flips and it's not, you know, and it's a frustrating thing or whatever. So Patient was kind of the same thing of like, you know, I feel like you were just kind of you must have been in that mode that week emotionally, as far as just like that frustration of like, all right, what's going on in my head? Because sometimes I just feel this, but then it switches to this, and I don't know what to make of it sometimes.
Right. Yes, that is very true, Chantry.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that was fun. And then I love the line that comes, my mind is racing, man, I can't keep up. So it's like you can't keep up with your own mind, your own like stressing and worrying about things. I thought that was a really fun line that was in there. And then it just kind of goes back into my mind is racing, I can't keep up, so let me know. So in the first verse we were talking about, like, okay, you're breathing in, like first verse is like, I'm talking too much and I can't like keep myself just calm and just like chill out, David. And so the person I'm talking to is like, what's funny is like you're showing that the person I'm talking to is more patient than I am, and saying, okay, I'm breathing in, you're waiting to let me know, like, hey, it's okay, like there's beauty in just calming down. And so then in the second verse it's like, I'm freaking out, so it's like, hey, now, so let me know. Like now I'm ready to listen, but it might be too late for me to listen now because I might have blown this relationship at this point. But yes, I mean that's pretty much the brunt of the song, right? We didn't have a bridge in it. So
we revisited the pre-chorus, but with a chord change. You know, maybe it's a perspective change. Maybe it's like you know, I think every song needs a good turn or a good kind of climactic moment where maybe something's actually starting to click or whatever. So, yeah, you take the pre-chorus, switch the chords a little bit, changes the context, and maybe provides a fresh way of listening to it or interpreting it, maybe.
Right.
Tingle, hurry up and learn to take it slow. I'm trying to be patient, cause it don't come easily. Whoa, no, it don't come easily.
Whoa, those ad-libs, how much was it like a year later that I did these ad-libs that are right here? It's just like
No. It was the day of, but I forgot to put them in. So
oh, gotcha.
Find the beauty in the
Here's
letting
the
go.
bridge.
To hurry up and learn to take it slow.
I really like this right here.
I'm trying to be patient.
I feel like that's a signature.
And that time the beat came in.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a signature thing because you did something similar like that on Switch, where it's like,
Oh yeah,
oh, and then the hit comes
you caught me.
when you don't expect it. I love it.
Got me.
So I didn't do these ad-libs. Are you sure? I feel like I did them. What did I?
No, you're right. We did some extra ones. You came to my house for like an hour or to my studio for an hour, and we've got some pickup ones, right?
Yeah. When was that? Wasn't that just a few months ago?
Literally, it was like I think you were in town doing the music videos for.
That's right.
Yeah, for switching for.
That's right. So that was just in March.
Yeah.
We added those.
So, and I had ones from like a year ago. I was like, oh, I got them, and I was like, oh, you better come by and we'll do a couple more, and we just knocked them out.
Yeah.
Super easy. David's really easy to work with, you guys, in case anyone's wondering. Great singer. Super easy to work with as far as recording. So.
Well, same. You guys helped me sound better. So this was a fun song. I'm glad that we got to do it.
Go team.
Were there any final thoughts, or I guess it's a pretty simple song. We talk a lot, and Kyle observes me talking a lot and then wrote down some key notes and then Chantry put in some good lines, and I can't remember what lines I put in, but voila, we have Patient. So.